Hi, so we're back. Just had some lunch, just done the washing up, so ready to go. Switched over to Long Live the Queen, and we're just going to get into it. Obviously, backseat gaming is allowed, and I've just realised that I haven't actually put that in my tags, so let me just do that real quick, because I'm more than happy for people to suggest what they would like me to do. So let's just do that now. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. Don't think it's going to let me do it. Hold on. Let's try that again, shall we? No, it's not going to let me do it. I'm not entirely sure why. It let me do it a minute ago when I changed it over to a new chapter, but it's having a bit of a moment, so that's absolutely fine. Let's get started, shall we? Jocelyn, King Dowager, Duke of Caloris. We're almost home. Your room is just the way you left it. I know it's hard to leave your school and all your friends, but I've arranged the best possible tutors for every subject. You'll have to work hard this year to prepare yourself before your 15th birthday, but I know you can do it. You'll learn quickly and you'll make a wonderful queen. It's what your mother would have wanted. Elodie, Crown Princess, this is not what Mother would have wanted. She wouldn't have wanted to die and leave me. No, she wouldn't. But sometimes bad things happen. We have to pick up and carry on. All of Nova depends on us, on you. I will be here to guide you until your coronation, but the decisions you make are ultimately up to you. Hi, Jeffy. Oh, thanks for popping in. It's really appreciated. Have a good time with your parents. You just missed me on The Sims. I've just switched over to Long Live the Queen a couple of minutes ago. That just tried to tell me that you followed, but I don't think it's actually. I just heard the sound, but I don't think it worked. Yeah, I'll probably I'll cut it up later and I'll put it on YouTube so you can see. We're very close to our 20th baby. They're about to be born, and we've just had a couple of age ups and age outs. Oh, you hosted me, fantastic. I'll have to look into why that didn't pop up properly. Oh, I think I figured out why. I didn't put it on top level. Fantastic. So you can hear me all okay. There's no issues with the audio because there has been previously. And thank you so much for the host. It's really appreciated. Oh, and now my cat's come to play. Hello, Mimins. You want to join in the stream as well? Here's my little kitty. Here's my little moo. She's sniffing around. Don't know if you can see her. Thank you. Yes, Nightbot, I do need to hydrate. There's my little moo girl. You're gonna watch me? She's like, put me down, human. Put me down, human. There you go. Alright, thanks. Good to know that the audio is working. Awesome. So I'm going to go back to my really bad voice acting now, and try and continue with the game. But I'm going to hydrate because Nightbot's just reminded me. Moo, don't touch that, please. Okay. So, I've played this before. And we're going to go with, so obviously currently with the fact that her mother has passed on, she's very depressed at the moment, so she has a bonus to her expression and her animal handling, but a penalty to her royal demeanour, to conversation and to athletics. So what I think we're going to do is I'm going to go with Annoyingly, I wanted to go with climbing, but I think we'll just go with medicine and trays to start with, because she doesn't get a bonus to each, but she doesn't get a negative. And expression can be really handy, but animal handling is only sort of handy that I've found in a couple of instances. So I'm not going to go with that right now. So let's go with we're going to go with economics. And what was it? Oh, I've just forgotten exactly what I said I was going to do. Hold on. Oh yeah, medicine. So she's going to go with accounting and battlefield medicine to start with. Week 1, morning. You brush up on basic mathematics with the help of an abacus. Week 1, afternoon. You learn that wounds, even minor ones, should be washed as soon as possible to prevent dirt from growing under the skin. What's all that noise outside? Who's here? Oh, it's my cousins and my aunt and uncle. Lucille, Countess of Nix. Darling, we were so terribly sorry to hear about your mother, Fidelia. Thank you. Laurent, Duke of Merva. You look well, niece. Charlotte, Lady Merva. Hi, Lottie. Hi, Lottie. I haven't seen you in ages. Will you be staying long? Yep. Mummy said we'd be here all month. Maybe we'll have some time to talk later. Okay, and I think the best thing to do is go visit Charlotte because she'll help cheer us up. I love this room. It's so much better than mine back home. You should visit more often. It's awful the only time I get to see you is something like this. I know your brother and sister are still too young, but why haven't you come to school? My mother worries about me. She doesn't think anywhere but home is safe. I understand. I'm probably not going to be allowed to leave this castle until my birthday. But at least we can have fun together here. So Charlotte's given us 2 cheerfulness points, which is fantastic because that's what we want. So currently her mood, she's afraid now instead of depressed. So yeah, basically the higher one of these get to each other, obviously, the more neutral, and then she can be affected by these. So as she's afraid, she's now got a bonus to agility and faith, but a penalty to royal demeanour, weapons, intrigue and military. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give her some climbing skills. Not agility, athletics, there we go. So I'm going to go with a slightly different build to what I normally do this time. I want to see what I get. I'm trying to collect all the deaths. I do have a few deaths. In fact, let me just show you which deaths I have got. Let me just... I did get one fairly recently. Alright, let me just switch this over. There we go. So you can see what I've got. So obviously I've survived long enough to see a crown placed on my head. As you can see, I actually did all of these bar one quite a long time ago. 2013 I got most of these trophies, achievements. So obviously I've died at least once, I've died at least 5 times. There's a few different ones I've got in here which are quite fun, and this is the one I got a few days ago. So I got that on the 31st of August where I made my cousin into a lumen. And here are some of the others, so things like survived a visit to the old forest, you paid out a reward for the death of a fugitive, you found 11 different ways to die, you've chosen to join a villain rather than oppose him. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with this, and I've got 5 of the deaths, but I want to get more, so that's what we're going to do with that one. I'll just pop back into the live screen, there we go. Alright, so week 2 in the morning, you practice climbing up and down fixed ladders, driving out any fear of heights and learning to move swiftly and surely. Afternoon, you learn to evaluate whether a tree or branch is safe to bear your weight. What's that commotion outside, Father? What's going on? Juliana, Duchess of Urzel. I have come to pay my respects in honour of your mother. You have no respect or honour. It's because of you and your powers that my wife is dead. What? I am a lumen, as was she, and like every lumen, I am willing to give my life, if necessary, to protect our domain. Your line has been traitors for 200 years. I won't have you corrupting my daughter. That is for the Crown Princess to decide. Elodie, your mother trusted me, and I have much to teach you. I'm going to let her stay. I want to hear what she has to say. She stays, and now we're a bit more willful. As you wish. Okay, so we're going to go visit Juliana. What is it you wanted to teach me? First, I need to know if you have your mother's crystal. What crystal? So obviously we failed the law test there. The source of power for any lumen is a particular magical crystal. Once you've bonded with it, it becomes a part of you as long as you live. The royal crystal has been passed down from ruler to ruler for generations. It belongs to you now, except that the king may be keeping it from you. Do you have a crystal? Of course. She holds out her hands, light flickers above her bosom, and then, with a shower of sparkles, something takes shape. You reach out to touch it, and it dissolves away into nothing. It belongs to me. No one can take it from me until I die. You need to find the crystal that belongs to you. Alright, so she looks like she's still afraid. Yep, she's still afraid. And what I would like to do, because we can only get to 50 on any given skill within a tree, before it blocks it, you have to get all three of them to a minimum of 25. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go climbing, because I have a vague recollection it triggers something that I want to trigger. So let's get her good in climbing. You clamber up and down trees, able to fetch fruit or get a better view. Afternoon. You practice climbing up and over a wall with the aid of a well-anchored rope, leaning into the wall as you push in with the balls of your feet. He loves me not. Lottie, do you have a boyfriend? Not really, I just like to play with the flowers. All of a sudden, the Duchess of Urzel rushes into the garden and points a sword at you. No, not you. At your feet? Oh, obviously my shout out isn't working properly at the moment. It's shouted me out rather than shouted out Jeffy. But yeah, Jeffy plays. Go check her out. Okay. So I'm going to try and hold still. You want to hold still, but you don't have the composure to hold your position without peeking. You look down where her sword is pointing. There's a snake in the grass. You can't help it. You squeak and jump back. The snake tenses and prepares to strike. No! Your cousin pushes you aside and the snake's fangs sink into her leg. Lottie! Too late. Juliana swings her sword and cuts off the snake's head. What is going on out here? Your daughter's been bitten by a milk viper. They're poisonous. Get a herbalist right away. I will treat my daughter. I certainly can't trust anyone here to keep her safe. I'm sorry. I don't feel good. We will be returning home to Merva immediately. Your aunt has a point. Milk vipers are not native to this area. The snake should never have been here. Someone may have tried to kill you. Will Charlotte be okay? I don't know. Alright, so now we're going to talk to our father to find out what's going on with our crystal. Dad, what happened to Mum's lumen crystal? It's in a safe place. Can I have it? No. But it's mine. Meddling with magic killed your mother. I don't want that to happen to you. Once you're crowned queen, I can't stop you from doing anything you want. But for now, you are still a child. Okay. So it looks like we're still afraid, and I don't want to do too much more in climbing because obviously that will... so I'm going to go for her medicine and economics again. Actually, I'll just go for economics for now. Week 1, morning. You learn that even the smallest of villages has a central market where locals can trade what they have grown or made with others who have different skills. Afternoon. You learn that Sunset Bay off the coast of the Duchy of Mazomba is a prime location for fishing. The castle seems quieter with Charlotte and Emery and Zara and their parents gone. It's certainly not empty though. It seems like we get more servants every day. I was so worried about Charlotte after that snake bit her. But her mother said she's okay, so I guess it turned out all right. Maybe she has a guardian angel. That's Juliana. My father says I can't have the crystal until I'm queen, so we'll just have to wait. There may not be time to wait. This world is filled with dangers, and you will need the powers of a lumen to fight them. You can't begin training until you have bonded with your crystal. Well, what else am I supposed to do about it? The crystal is probably held under guard in the royal treasury. You are the princess. You should be able to find a way inside. Otherwise, we might have to take drastic action. Wait till I'm older, find a way. What drastic action? I'll try to find a way. Alright, I will try to get into the treasury. Okay, our accounting. So everything's 10 across the board. I'm going to get trade and production up, and I don't think it's going to get high enough, which is annoying. I want them to get to 25, but I don't think they will with that booster. No, 22.37. Week 5, morning. You learn that the individual peddlers travel between villages and cities, some on foot with packs and mules, others riding horses or wagons. Sometimes different wagons group together to form a caravan. Week 5, afternoon. You learn how farmers in the Duchy of Marie rotate between fields for raising crops and fields that lie fallow. One of the maids approaches for your attention. Alice, my lady, couriers have arrived from the Duke of Sedna. We have a Duke of Sedna? No, my lady, the Duchy of Sedna is in Talassi. They have brought you a letter and a gift. Condolences on the death of, deeply regret, best wishes. Oh, what a beautiful necklace. Something sparkly will make me feel better. Okay, and I think I'm going to go with attend court for now. Sitting in on court sessions is not fun at all, but it pleases your father and it may be important for your future. Okay, so our mood is still afraid. And let's just push once more to get trade and production. To get trade and production up over 25. I was hoping I wouldn't need to use another week for this. Week 6, morning. The most important trade route in the domain is the Kavala River. It travels through the centre of your lands, and almost every duchy contains tributaries that feed into the Kavala, allowing goods to be shipped along it by boat. Week 6, afternoon. You learn that most of the domain's iron is mined in Sudbury and transported west by the Gowan River to the Kavala. As you're walking, you spot a familiar figure in the palace gardens. It's the Duchess of Ursel. Maybe I should go and say hello. Then you notice that seated beside her is a woman in the robes of a priestess. They are very close together, their hands gently touching as they speak. Looks like she's busy. You turn and walk in a different direction so as not to disturb them. At that moment, you notice something unusual. It looks like someone just left the palace grounds by going over the hedge. Was that a servant, a thief, or an assassin? Climb up to look over the hedge, call the guards, run and hide. We have climbing, so let's give it a go. You clamber up a nearby tree to get a better view. There, you see a boy, a bit older than you, hurrying away from the palace grounds as he munches on an apple. Your apples! He was stealing your apples! It's too late to catch him now, but you will remember. Okay, we're going to get less afraid. But our mood is still overwhelmingly afraid. Okay. So we've got these up high enough, and I'm going to need to plug into accounting for something that I want to do a bit later on. I need to get this up to 60. But now that I've got the other two up to 25, I can get past the 50 block and go up to 60. Also, once she hits 25 in all three sections, so in this one, for economics, obviously it would be accounting, it would be trade, and it would be production. Once she hits 25, she gets access to a new outfit, so she doesn't have to wear a boarding school outfit anymore, and they come with bonuses and buffs and things. Week 7, morning. You study the manipulation of larger quantities through direct calculations using written numbers instead of an abacus. Afternoon. You study money lending and the controversies involved in charging interest. According to the Druids, one should always return more than one is loaned, or else the debt gave no value to the world. You've unlocked a new outfit. As you're walking up the stairs, a maid comes running down holding a towering pile of linen. Before you can react, she barrels into you, sending you and the sheets flying. "Oh, my lady, I'm so sorry." Apologise. "No, it was my fault. I should have gotten out of your way." "If you say so, my lady." Okay. I want to get rid of afraid again, so we'll go for cheerful. Let's see what that's done to my mood. So she's still overwhelmingly afraid, but Wilful's pushing up there. And let's check out her new outfit. She's got a tuxedo. Let's leave her in the tuxedo for a bit. Alright, so I want her up to 60, so do some more accounting. Week 8, morning. You study bookkeeping and the art of notating incomes and expenditures, as well as how to determine the amount of funds a solvent business needs to keep on hand in order to continue functioning. You learn about the concept of diminishing returns, a point after which spending more on a particular project fails to improve it as much as previous spending did. And there we go, we're over 60 now, which is fantastic. You study taxation and learn about how past monarchs demanded too much and drove peasants into ruin in order to collect it. Other monarchs demanded too little and drove whole domains into ruin by lacking the funds to sustain and defend them. You study the standard operating costs of the domain's military and the amounts needed to commission new ships, soldiers and knights. There is a man here to see you. He wishes crown funding for a project of his. Remember, the treasury is not unlimited. If you choose to invest, you will have less money to work with later. Your Royal Highness, I have a plan to print books using metal letters which can be moved and reused. I need to borrow 875 lassie to assemble the metal and a factory to mould and cast the type. With this system, we will be able to create new books in a fraction of the time it takes now and make copies to send all over the world. If that really works, that could be a very important invention. Invest. We would be happy to invest in your venture. Okay, now we're going to visit the Treasury. You overwhelm the guards with facts and figures, explaining that you need Treasury access to adjust the royal budget, which may affect their pay packets as well as the taxes assessed on their friends and family. They stand aside. The glitter is dazzling, but some sixth sense draws you towards one little locked box in particular. This is what you need. This is the crystal that will make you a lumen. You tuck the box into your pocket. You can show it to your mentor later and get instructions on what to do next. Okay, so I will also now want to boost my medicine a little bit. I'm going to want to boost law as well, so I'm probably going to focus on law, lumen, and medicine for a bit. So if we go medicine, I didn't have any negatives to medicine, did I? No, good. Not much of a boost to it though. So in fact, I've got a bit of boost in that, so we'll boost law for the afternoon, and we'll do herbs. Week 9, morning. You learn that willow bark can be used to relieve aches and fevers. Afternoon. Only a lumen can channel magic, and only with the help of an attuned crystal. The ability to control a crystal seems to be inherited, so crystals can be passed from parent to child upon the lumen's death. Banyan, Duke of Marie, Earl of Serenitatis. Your Highness, my sympathies for your loss. Even after all these years, I sometimes forget that my own mother will never be coming back. Thank you. However, I must call for your aid. The Ixionite occupation of the county of Imbrium has gone on for too long. Now is the time to push back. I know there's been some problems with Ixion, but I don't know the details. I guess they're occupying southern Marie? I don't know anything about the military. I don't want to fight. There must be a peaceful way to settle this. I will send for diplomats from Ixion and try to come to some arrangement. Thank you, Your Highness. Your Highness, if I may ask, that necklace you're wearing, where did it come from? It was a gift from the Duke of Sedna. Then you have made arrangements with him? What sorts of arrangements? Your Highness, that is a courting gift. The man wishes to gain your hand in marriage. Oh, I didn't realise. Right, now we're going to go see Juliana and become a lumen! Getting sparkly magical girl. Alright, I got it. What do I do now? Pick up the crystal with your bare hands. Press it against your chest, over your heart, and say, illuminate. Do it. Okay, here we go. Illuminate. You feel dizzy and both larger and lighter than you were before. The crystal has disappeared from view, but you know where it is. Wow. The priestess here is a friend of mine. I will come to your lessons in the faith and train you to use your powers. Okay, so ideally we want to push up willful here, because when she's willful she learns lumen much faster. But at the moment she gets a bonus to agility and to faith. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same as I did last week, I think. As you can see, we've got lumen as an option now. Week 10, morning. You learn that feverfew can be used to reduce tension and headaches. Week 10, after. Excuse me. Oh, hopefully I held that on long enough to hit the mute button. Hopefully you didn't hear me coughing there. Okay, so week 10, afternoon. The kings and queens of Nova have all been lumens for centuries, but in modern times, magic is only used for ceremonial occasions and the direst of emergencies. Long, long ago, the continent of Borealis was ruled over by a single witch king until a rival line of lumens challenged for the crown. The resulting war went on for 100 years with powerful spells that damaged the land so badly that even now no plants will grow. The representative from Ixion is here. Be careful, no one wants to give up prizes that they have won. You have the full support of my sister and myself, Your Highness. Bryn, Duchess of Hellas, Countess of Dysnomia. Let's get it over with. Diplomat from Ixion. Your Royal Highness, thank you for granting me this audience. I am sure we can come to an amicable agreement. Let bygones be bygones, no? We will forget about your unprovoked attacks on us, and you will transfer the rights to this little province. We can be good neighbours again, without any lives being lost. Surrender province, offer him money if Ixion withdraws, bluff, intimidate, or execute him. Now here you would normally get extra points if you knew a little bit about what had happened, but she doesn't. So I'm going to say offer him money if Ixion withdraws. That is not acceptable. All of the land north of the river belongs to us. We are willing to offer some payment in exchange for the inconvenience you have suffered, but nothing more. I believe we could settle the matter for 8,000 golden lassie. That's more than all of Marie pays in taxes in a year. It is far too much. Make a counter offer. You and I both know that's more than the land is worth. 4,000 lassie is more than generous. Then we accept your generosity. Phew, at least that's over with. So she doesn't know what actually happened, but she's managed to avoid a war there. She's also managed to avoid upsetting people. She's managed to avoid losing a whole county. So basically that was one of the better outcomes she could have had. Bryn and Banyan may still be a little bit upset with her, but I don't think she cares too much. So we are going to be willful. Here we go. She looks like she's willful now. Yes. Did we get a new outfit? No, we didn't. Alright, so skills. So now she gets a bonus to intrigue, military, and lumen. So we're going to pump this into lumen mostly, but I am still going to want to boost her medicine up. So we're going to go lumen, sense magic, medicine, battlefield medicine. I'm hoping to trigger a plotline. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm hoping to trigger a plotline. That's why I'm choosing what I'm choosing at the moment. So, week 11, morning. You close your eyes and learn to feel the magic inside you. 11, afternoon. You learn that blood loss wastes life energy. Bleeding should be stopped through bandages, pressure, and elevation. There are reports that a keithong has been sighted leaving the old forest. What's a keithong? A beast with the body of an enormous golden cat, a sharp beak, and spikes on its back. Eek! Several disappearances in southern Colorist are already thought to be the work of this creature. And yes, I am a Slytherin. One of my best friends bought me this mug, and I love it, even if I'm not so enamoured with the whole Harry Potter thing at the moment. What should we do? Should we send hunters? The traditional policy on stray beasts is to hope that they return to the forest and stay there. I'm muddling up all my voice acting now again, aren't I? So hunters are no match for such creatures. You would only make it angry and waste more lives. So we just let it eat people? Everyone dies in the end. Morbid. Now I'm depressed. Also, there is a letter for you. Talaris, the Duke of Sedna, will be arriving next week for an official visit. So we're going to go willful again. There we go. So not quite a 20-25 for these. I'm going to do herbs and battlefield medicine for now. I will need to get her lumen up soon, but I want to get her medicine up because I have a feeling I'm going to need it. Week 12, morning. You learn that oil of cloves rubbed on the skin can relieve pain, particularly in teeth. Afternoon. You learn that minor burns should be cooled, washed and gently wrapped to keep them clean, like a cut. Major burns and scalding, such as boiling oil, are untreatable on the battlefield. Ah, Your Highness, what a pleasure it is to meet you in person at last. Your description did not do you justice. I don't know how to deal with handsome older men paying me compliments. I was so pleased to hear that you had accepted my humble offering, a jewel for a jewel, but you are the more precious. I hope that this is only the beginning of a mutually beneficial relationship. A union between us would bring stability to both our peoples. He really does want to marry me. Accept his offer or politely decline. I'm going to go with accept. Actually, no, I'm going to go with decline. I was going to try and trigger the apple thief storyline, but I don't think I'm actually going to trigger it. I've only done it once, and it was 7 years ago now, so I don't actually remember how I did it. I'll just say accept the offer. I would be honoured. Elodie, Your Grace, are you not aware that my daughter has only 14 summers? It's my decision. A betrothal only, of course. There is no need to hurry. You have your coronation to plan for, after all. If I might be of service in any way, please send for me. I will be happy to offer my protection or advice. Which actually is not a bad move. He's one of the better choices if she wants to strengthen her throne, because he's a duke of another neighbouring country. So not only is she going to get ties with that country and a close relationship with them, and obviously a duke is, a high level royal, but it also means that she's not upsetting anybody internally by marrying within her own country. But we're going to go willful again, because I want to have her really willful. Let's see, where are I? Yeah, so she's overwhelmingly willful, which is fantastic. Alright, I'm going to need to pack into poison so that we can get that up. 13. Morning. The first treatment for most ingested poisons is to purge the stomach by forcing the victim to eat powdered charcoal, which can absorb dangerous substances. Afternoon. Certain poisons will counteract each other, such that either on their own will kill the victim, but carefully applying a matching amount of the other will cure. Unlocked a new outfit! You are requested to stand in judgment. A woman has been convicted of attempted murder and requests the mercy of the crown. Kevin, Earl of Io. Your Highness, this slattern dares to beg pardon when she admits that she tried to poison my sister under her own roof. Which sister? Corisand, the Duchess of Mead. Is she all right? She is unharmed. We caught the culprit in the kitchens before anyone could eat her foul spew. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? It's justice, it is. Them devils killed me brother and broke me mam's heart. Lied to her, they did, when she went to see why he'd not come back. Said he'd gone for a soldier when he never would. He weren't the only one, neither. I waited 10 years for my chance to get me own back. That's justice. You see, she's completely unrepentant. Hang her and be done with it. I don't know what all this is about. Either way, murder is a serious crime. But Put her to work, imprison her, execute her. I'm going to put her to work. It's going to really upset Kevin, but I don't care. This woman failed in her goals. She harmed no one. I do not require her life. If she is kept far away from your sister's court, she will no longer be a threat. You're going to forgive her? I'm indenturing her, not pardoning her. She will serve as a heavy labourer in northern Urzel. She should be made an example of. She should be drawn and quartered in a public square. I have spoken. God bless you, miss. So, main reason I don't care if I upset him is because he's really rude and I don't like him. It's basically the main reason. But, it's like, do what I say and be really rude, otherwise I'm going to get angry with you. Right? Nobody likes someone like that. Bog off. Bog off with yourself. Alright, so I do not want to be yielding. I'm going to go... I don't want to be too lonely, it's the only thing. Pressured is the opposite of lonely, but I don't want to be... We'll do a walk in the gardens. And I'm going to change to my new outfit. So cute. So cute. Alright, so intrigue and lumen. So... I'm just going to go full lumen now for a bit. This will take a couple of weeks. So I'm going to sense and resist magic first. Week 14, morning. You practice using small amounts of magic and feeling that power outside of yourself. Your mentor summons up magical enemies to strike the nearby ground so you can learn to sense someone else's spells in use. Afternoon. You increase your awareness of your own thoughts and emotions, making it more difficult for mind-affecting magic to twist your reactions. Excuse me. As you are walking one day in the gardens, you hear a strange sound and look up to see an owl flying overhead. A single dry leaf flutters in its talons. That's funny. I thought owls were nocturnal. I guess I was wrong. A young gardener has also paused in his work to watch the bird's flight. Wait, you've seen that boy before. I have triggered it. Whoops. Oh well. You! Ah, good day, princess. You're a thief. You stole my apples. Who, me? I saw you sneaking out of the garden. Sure, you saw me in the garden because I work there. Name's Everard. I don't remember any Everard working here. I'm sure a princess don't know the name of every servant in this big place. Well, no. Right, then if you don't mind, I've got to get back to work. When you return to the castle, your father is waiting for you. There is a woman here to see you. She wishes crown funding for a project. Thank you for seeing me, Your Highness. Your Royal Highness. I come to you on behalf of the people. I wish to build a hospital where any citizen afflicted with disease can be brought for treatment. Centralising resources could help people who don't have doctors of their own. Invest. We'd be happy to invest in your venture. Yep. So we need resist and wield to go up. Week 15, morning. You learn to summon a small glowing light which you can then move around independently. Afternoon. You learn to consciously project a magical field through your thoughts, blocking outside magic from touching your mind, but only when you have the energy to consciously resist. You gain innate resistance to light and dark. You can now see in the blackest caves or stare into the sun without going blind. Remember that the Festival of the Good Lady is approaching. There will be public celebrations for the commoners, followed by a grand gala for the nobility. A grand ball. There will be dancing. As Queen, you would be expected to lead the procession and take part in the ceremonial planting, possibly give a speech. However, since you are not yet crowned, it's not required and it may not be safe to expose you to the public. What do you mean not safe? Outside the castle, you are less well protected. If anyone means you harm, think on it now, decide later. Will the Duke of Sedna attend the gala? It is a traditional Novan event. Inviting your fiancé might be seen as a statement. Invite Tellerist. If I'm going to marry him, it's a statement I ought to send. As you wish. Word has come from the factory for books that you funded. They have assembled enough equipment to begin printing test pamphlets. As their royal sponsor, it is your right to decide the content of the first printing. Poems praising your mother, pro-Lumen propaganda, or religious doctrine. I'm going to go pro-Lumen propaganda. I think the people of Nova don't have enough respect for magic users. I want to print pamphlets about lumens. I want to show everyone how magic can do good things. As you wish. There is a letter for you as well. It's from Bryony. I went to school with her, but she's a couple of years older than me. Her mother is the Duchess of Mead. This is the storyline I want to trigger. But I don't know if I can trigger it with what I've got set up now, but we'll give it a go. She's complaining that her mother still won't let her come home for the holidays. Apparently her Uncle Kevin is absolutely furious about that woman's trial. She's bored and looking for an adventure. Well, I don't have any to suggest to her. Yeah, I don't think I've been able to trigger that. I think she needs higher law. I have to remember that for next time. I think that was my cat. So 31, 33, 17. So we definitely need wheeled. So we'll do that first. Yeah, we'll do 2 wheels, I think. Week 16, morning. You learn how to cast rays of white light which can banish shadows and blind your opponents. You learn to create tiny discs of solid light which can fly through the air and cut into targets. Love it! Week 16, afternoon. By concentrating, you can create a wave of discontent which panics or enrages animal in the area. You learn to create a blade of solid light which you can wield like a sword to slice through flesh and stone alike. Today is the procession and planting for the Festival of the Good Lady. Will you be leading the parade? If you have any concerns about your safety, please stay here. The people will recover from disappointment. If we lose you, there is no recovery. I would rather not go. No, I guess I'd rather stay here. You watch the procession from your tower window, feeling safe but lonely. Suddenly, you hear moving around inside your room. You turn in surprise, but it's only a maid. My lady, what are you... Should you not be in the procession? It's a major festival, but there are other ways to celebrate. Make religious excuse. I prefer to give thanks for the good lady's blessings by meditating. That's very wise of you, my lady. I'll go sneak out. She's not a girl. And I'm going to change into my sparkle dress. Sparkle dress! Everyone wants a sparkle dress. Alright. So I want to be able to sense magic. Week 17, morning. You close your eyes and call out when you detect your mentors casting a silent spell beside you. You learn to detect ongoing enchantments such as blessed weapons that can do magical damage. Afternoon. You learn to tell the difference between different kinds of magical signatures, so you can tell roughly what a spell you detect is meant to achieve. You expand your magical perceptions to give you some idea of where a detected spell was cast from and how long ago. Jocelyn, King Dowager, Duke of Caloris. Are you ready for the grand ball? Nope. All the nobles on the domain are here to see you, to see their queen. You finish dressing and descend the stairs to make a grand entrance. All around, the rich and powerful pause in their activities to gaze upon you, the ruler of them all. Seeing yourself reflected in so many eyes makes you want to run away and hide. After a moment, you force yourself to carry on, but you're sure they've all seen you hesitate. Your father waits for you at the bottom of the stairs and offers you his arm. The first dance is for us. He guides you gently around the dance floor, never rushing you. It's fun to dance with your father, but the look in his eyes is so sad. Talarist, I believe the next turn is mine. He bows gracefully and offers you his hand, then leans close to whisper a quick question. Do you know how to dance? Nod or shake your head. Nope. You shake your head slightly, your hair swaying. Watch me, I'll go slowly. Dancing with a real partner feels quite different from dancing with your father, especially when the man in front of you is the one you have agreed to marry. His touch is gentle, his every move carefully signalled to be sure that you don't miss the beat. Is this what your marriage will be like? Between the dances, there is time for the guests to mingle, chat, and sample tiny bites of exquisite food. During a lull in the music, Banyan, the Duke of Marie, taps an elegant fingernail against a wine glass, letting a clear note ring out through the room. If I might have your attention. I believe we should offer our compliments to our lovely hostess. Her words of wisdom guide us through our difficulties. Everyone applauds politely. As the gala continues, you take the opportunity to observe nobles that you rarely see. There's Gwenelle, for instance, the young lady of Sudbury, only months older than you and due to finally inherit control of her duchy soon. Or Adele, the youngest daughter of the Duchess of Lilla and a fierce sportswoman. She was a few years ahead of you at school and the absolute terror of the ballfields. No, Bryony. She had said her parents were leaving her stuck at school this season. Her parents are here, dancing together, the Duke Consort clutching his Duchess possessively tight. Strange that there's no sign of your cousins, though. Shouldn't they be here? Your aunt and uncle are here, of course. It would be scandalous if they hadn't come, Merva being so close by. There's something itching at your senses, something familiar. Then it hits you. Aunt Lucille is a lumen. Talk to your aunt. Aunt Lucille, may I speak with you privately? Of course, dear. You withdraw to a small side room. I can sense your powers. You're a lumen. What? I am too, that's how I know. Can't you sense that? No, I can't. She looks down, shaking her head. I do have a lumen crystal. I found it years ago. It called to me, but I don't know anything about magic. I can make the crystal appear and disappear, and I can block out sound with it, that's all. Why keep it hidden? It's not illegal to be a lumen. Magic is dangerous, everyone knows that. People might think I was an evil witch. They wouldn't trust me. Look at how much trouble the Duchess of Ursel has. Please, Your Highness, don't tell anyone. Offer her a court position. What I think I should tell everyone is that you're my new lumen minister. What? Lumens have power. If you train with me, you'll become even stronger. I want that strength here to defend the capital. You'll have status and recognition, and no one will dare to call you a witch. What do you say? I accept. Good. It's nice to be able to enjoy time with family and friends, isn't it? As the evening grows late, your personal guest draws you aside for a conversation. You have my most fulsome thanks for the invitation to this event. However, you might wish to spend more time with the scribes before corresponding in writing with other nobles. Some may not appreciate your unique sense of phrasing. Wonderful, I sounded like an idiot. It is always the greatest of pleasures for me to be in your presence. I look forward to the day when we will no longer have to part. You visit the Royal Treasury and check your available funds. You have 3,920 gold lassie and 73 silver tillassie. Okay. So, Lumen, we've got... Right, so we're good to go. So I'm gonna do a bit of wielding magic, I think. Oh, actually... Do we have anything for... No, weapons is... So we'll go straight into Lumen, I think. Week 18, morning. Oh, so close to 100. How annoying. You learn to detect the latent power that signifies a lumen, even when he or she is not actively working magic. You expand your senses, learning to detect spells and magical creatures at a greater distance. Afternoon. You learn to direct a beam of searing light through the end of a staff, burning whatever you point at. By concentrating, you can create a wave of discontent which panics, confuses, or enrages other people around you. You learn to shape light into images of things that are far away, or things that don't exist at all. You wander downstairs to visit your father and talk about the latest events in the domain. You're moving with such enthusiasm that you don't realise your father isn't alone, until it's too late to avoid him and his companion. Sirin, Countess of Miranda and Callisto. You are too kind, Jocelyn. Countess Sirin, not a member of your circles. She's a bit more than a decade your senior, far too old to have ever been your friend, and yet not at all old as noble women go. She has 2 minor titles, no husband, and your father's arm in her grasp. How dare she make a move on your father? I'm going to not really do anything because she's not practiced this enough. You meet her eyes and imagine your mother's disapproving presence behind you. She notices your stare, but only smiles at you ever so sweetly. Darling Elodie, I hope you have been well. Fine. Perhaps we'll be seeing more of each other in the future. She gives a little wave and exits. Once she's gone, you raise an eyebrow at your father. This is the path you had led us on. What do you mean? Your acts have made everyone think about preparation for the future. Caloris needs an heir. My brother, your Uncle Armand, is looking for a wife as well. One of us at least must produce more children. But, Mama, nothing can ever replace your mother. But we all have to do things we don't want to do. You should be careful how you deal with people like Sirin. You need the goodwill of your nobles as well as your commoners. There haven't been any problems so far. As Queen, you must be aware of everything around you. I am paying attention to what's around me. No, you're not, Elodie. No, you're not. We're going to go willful and angry. You sneak a peek at some of the luckless peasants held in the dungeons, petty thieves and troublemakers, now suffering in the dark. They're obviously bad people, but seeing them so miserable still feels unfair. There must be a better way. Alright, where are we? So we're going to do resist magic. Morning. You learn to consciously project a magical shield around your body, blocking intrusion. A powerful technique, but you can't keep it up for long. You gain increased resistance against heat and cold, becoming comfortable in different weather and environments, and able to sip hot soup without burning your tongue. You learn how to quickly flare magical shields around you to deflect an incoming attack. This uses much less energy than a constant shield, but requires good timing to be effective. Afternoon. What are we going to get up to? 87. You learn how to maintain a low-level deflection field so that magical attacks not directly targeted at you will slide harmlessly aside. This doesn't need much power, so you can keep it up for long periods of time. You learn how to directly counter offensive magic with your own power, so you can burn out a spell that someone else has cast. This is very dangerous if the other spell is too powerful. It is time of year to decide any necessary adjustments to the royal budget. The majority of the money we receive is already spoken for, but there is always some room for discretion. Based on the records and notes of current expenditures, if you maintain the current rate of tax, you will still have 3,920 gold lassie and 36 silver lassie available for special projects. Any little trade disruption shouldn't need more than a few hundred lassie to sort out, at least temporarily. I'm going to keep them the same. I think they're fine as they are. As you wish. Alright, I'm going to start making myself a smidge more yielding. So now she's lonely. Conversation, medicine. Alright, conversation. I'm not really going to bother with that now. I will go medicine. Week 20, morning. Sage has a variety of health benefits. It keeps meat from spoiling, aids digestion, improves thinking, and may even help bring colour back into grey hair. Calendula flowers can be used in soothing teas as well as skin lotions. It's also said to provide visions of one's secret enemies, if worn under the light of a full moon. Afternoon. You learn that soldiers should never sleep in damp clothes or on damp grounds. This is unhealthy. You learn that latrines, food waste and burials must be kept far away from living soldiers to prevent spreading disease. Holes should be dug deep and covered after use. You are requested to stand in judgment. A man has been convicted of the murder by strangling of his wife. He does not deny the act, but requests a pardon that he might be set free. If you admit you killed your wife, why do you think I'm going to set you free? Save me, your majesty. Wasn't my fault. Demons made me do it. Everyone knows the power of magical beasties. They came, used me, twisted my fingers into chains. My wife found me screaming. She tried to shake me and the chains wrapped around her. I need the priestesses to bless me and make me clean again. Demons? This man is a lumen. Where did he get a crystal? Question him about the crystal. It was a demon's magic that killed your wife, not your own magic. So you know why I am. He throws out his hands and his fingertips elongate into floating strings of gold. Die. Golden chains slash at you like whips. With so much warning, of course, it's easy for you to resist. His attack bounces harmlessly off your shields, the chains flying back in the direction from where they came, where they find an easier target. Before your eyes, the renegade lumen is choked to death by his own powers. After a moment, an orange crystal materialises next to his body. I guess I'll have to keep that for safekeeping. Alright, I don't want to be lonely, so let's go 10 court. What's the mood now? Still lonely. I think we'll go herbs and poison. Week 21, morning. Comfrey can be used to help mend broken bones. However, it's also slightly poisonous in large amounts and should not be eaten. Burdock leaves can be used as a poultice to draw out infection. The roots can be used to flavour a kind of beer, and the stalks can be eaten. The herb valerian calms anxieties and helps bring restful sleep. It's very popular with the nobility. Afternoon. If a victim is stabbed with the poisoned spine of a sea urchin, the spine must be removed carefully and the affected area soaked in very hot water in order to cook out the poison. It is possible to become immune to the venom of a particular snake by routinely ingesting very small amounts. However, this protection is temporary and will not provide any help against other snakes. Cinnabar dust causes tremors, anxiety, and eventually death if ingested over a long time. This is mostly a problem for minors, but it can be dangerous if it's routinely added to someone's food. There is no cure, but most will slowly recover if they have no more dust. My lady, there is a letter for you. Who sent this? It isn't signed. It appears to be a poem describing you in a manner that is entirely inappropriate for a queen. What? With a squid? That's hilarious. That's actually pretty funny. Just then an incredibly unlucky breeze swirls between the windows of your tower bedroom, tugging the paper out of your hands and off into the sky. You stick your head out the window to discover the poem caught and fluttering on the roof nearby. You can almost reach it. I should have enough in climbing, I hope. You take a moment to look where you have to climb in order to reach your target. It doesn't look that partial success, but you know your safety requirements, so you put together a simple rope harness just in case. Climbing up onto your roof is awkward and uncomfortable, but you manage to achieve your goal and get back inside without accident. Good stuff. Alright, so we'll visit Juliana because that's just popped up. If you attack an enemy lumen and you win, and they leave behind a crystal, is it possible to combine that crystal with mine to make it stronger? Each lumen can only hold one crystal. The only way to combine their magic is if a living wielder chooses to join its power to another. Oh, so I should destroy other crystals to stop anyone from using them against me? That is the traditional policy, but it is a lie. Lumen crystals cannot be destroyed. Rulers claim otherwise to discourage thieves from seeking dangerous treasures. What am I supposed to do with the crystal then? Guard it, or hide it, or give it into other hands to wield? But if the last holder of the crystal was an enemy, the resonance of the crystal will work against you. It will be attuned to a personality as foolish or violent or scheming as the lumen you defeated. So anyone taking the crystal would probably become a new enemy. That's useless. A weak-willed candidate might be acceptable to the crystal and yet still controllable. You could then steer that lumen away from dangerous paths, making an ally and changing the crystal's resonance. It is, however, a dangerous endeavour, and one that requires your complete attention. Not really a project I can work on when I'm so busy studying for my coronation. Well, it's only one crystal. That's not too much trouble. Okay. I would like to do a little bit with weapons, but I'm going to make the most of the medicine boost right now. Week 22, morning. The herb, only known as savoury, comes in both winter and summer varieties. Both are useful in treating wasp stings, coughs and internal gas. They also make a good flavouring for food. Summer savoury is an aphrodisiac, whilst winter savoury reduces sexual desire. Jelly made from the berries of the elder tree can cure many illnesses. However, only druids may safely harvest from elder trees. Others will be cursed by its touch. Properly treated, elderwood makes staves and pipes for religious ceremonies. You have nothing more to learn about herbs. Afternoon. The herb tansy. Learning more about herbs. The herb tansy is a mild poison with particular effect on lower forms of life. Rubbed on the skin, it repels insects. Drunk as the tea, it drives out worms from the stomach. Unfortunately, this sometimes makes people very ill. Belladonna berries are purple, juicy looking and sweet. Eating a handful of them causes blindness followed by death. It can be treated very carefully with the paste of calabar beans, which is also poisonous. I regret to inform you that Fabian, the Earl of Titan and Duke Regent of Elath, has passed away. This isn't really a surprise, he was pretty old. The problem is the political implications. With control of Elath in doubt, it falls to the Crown to make decisions. Young Lord Adair will not reach his 15th birthday for over 2 years. He requires a regent. His stepmother, Aris, the Duchess of Lilla, has petitioned that the boy be left in her care. This would, however, leave her in personal control of 2 neighbouring duchies, which is generally forbidden. Almost the entire eastern border. I don't know anything really bad about her, though. The boy does have a living grandfather, the Earl of Ishtar, or you might appoint an unrelated noble to act in his stead. Listening to my uncle. What about your Uncle Armand? He would be a safe pair of hands to watch over Adair. As you wish. And I think we want to get rid of her loneliness, don't we? She's still lonely though. It's getting there, it's getting up there. Alright, so we're going to do battlefield and poison. Week 23, morning. You learn that some wounds need to be sewn closed. The needle should first be cleaned by holding it in a flame for a minute or 2. Fire should not be applied to the wound, it will make it worse. You learn that piercing arrows should never be pushed through the body, that will make the injury worse. Cut very carefully with a sharp blade to dig the arrowhead out without causing large tears in the flesh. You learn that broken bones should be immobilised with wooden splint to prevent them from moving around. The straight wood will encourage the bone to grow straight. Afternoon. The flower known as Black Sun creates a poison which induces violent madness in the victim. In larger doses, it produces the same results as belladonna. The foxglove flower is a dangerous poison. Chewing the leaves or drinking water in which they have been soaked is likely to be fatal. Symptoms include dizziness and yellowed vision. Powdered epsomite is the only known antidote. The purple flower, known as woman's bane, is a dangerous poison with no antidote. Touching it causes the body to go cold, then numb, then die within hours. A rapid charcoal purge may sometimes save the victim. Nothing more to learn about poison. There is a woman here to see you. She's a musician and wishes crown patronage, which means money. Sabine. Your Royal Highness, if you accept me as a member of your court, I will immortalise you in word and song. I have dabbled in musical styles from many countries and can entertain your guests and lighten your evenings. I wonder if she also writes naughty poetry. The musician sings a little ditty to demonstrate her skills with the lute. She's actually pretty good. Reject. Thank you, but we are not interested. Alright, so her current mood is lonely. I'm going to want to make her more willful again, actually, because there's a couple of things I want her to do. So we're going to go with a +2 willful. Does make her a bit lonely again, but yeah, pushing willful back up. So we'll do, why don't we do willed magic and battlefield? We'll pop those up. You learn about situations where a crushed or rotten limb must be removed in order to save the rest of the body. A blow to the chest may create a sucking wound which stops the patient from breathing. A special wax bandage is needed to keep air from passing through the wound. You have nothing more to learn about battlefield medicine. Afternoon. You learn to create a powerful explosion of light, burning those caught within and blinding others who look at it. You learn how to make use of images to wield your other powers at great distance. Nothing more to learn about wield magic. You receive a letter from young Lord Adair. So far, he's enjoying himself with your Uncle Armand in Mazomba. He says the trees look different and there are a lot more frogs. He looks forward to visiting the lookout fort at Shepherd's Point. So we're going to go willful and angry. Affected by willfulness. Good, so that means she's no longer affected by loneliness. Excuse me. Ouch. Sorry, my bra is digging in. Being a bit of a pest. There we go. Hopefully that will do it. Okay, intrigue, lumen. So still not weapons. Annoying. Okay. It might be angry that's weapons then. Week 25, morning. You take up a wooden sword and practice correct grips and stances. Afternoon. You learn how to twist and wax bowstring from a variety of fibres. Staring up into the sky out your window, you notice a strange flash of light. A falling star. Pretty. And we'll go. We'll go visit dungeons. So yeah, anger's popping up a little bit. Here we go, it's a boost to weapons now. Hopefully we'll get this over 25, which would be nice. You learn about a variety of long weapons, from the quarterstaff to the spear to the halberd and glaive. Afternoon. You practice walking while carrying a long weapon, getting the feel for its size and weight and learning to manoeuvre without banging it into anything unintentionally. Oh, it didn't get over 25, how annoying. What a beautiful day. It's nice to stop and breathe sometimes. Right, we'll pull down Willful a little bit. So now she's cheerful. Yep. Conversation, athletics. Penalty to weapons. Alright. We'll go faith. Week 27. You practice assuming a sitting position that allows you to be relaxed and tranquil without being so relaxed that you're likely to fall asleep. Afternoon. You learn that the gods cannot be forced to divulge information about the future, and that the most powerful omens are those which arrive unexpectedly. My lady, there are letters for you. Another letter from Bryony. Why does she keep writing me? We were never even friends. She says she's bored and lonely and she's looking forward to seeing me at Gwenelle's birthday party. That's right, Gwenelle is about to turn 15. She'll be Duchess of Sudbury for real now. Oh, I might run out of time, actually. That's annoying. This other letter must be my invitation to her birthday celebration next week. Gwenelle and I were friends at school, and this will be a big event, but it's also a long way to travel. A lot of things can happen on the road. We'll go. Be good to see my friends. Okay. Oh, she's still cheerful. Alright, we'll go with law. I have a nasty feeling we're going to hit 50 and hit a block, but I'm hoping 50 will be enough for what I want to do. Legend has it that long ago, a horde of Yeveni on the back of tentacled monsters rode into the valley of the Mead, laying waste to all in their path. Their conquest was only halted when a lumen raised a great flood to drown the invaders. Afternoon. Yep, slapped into 50. Legend says that the island domain of Malini was once a single island instead of a cluster, until an invading Novan queen raised a terrible pillar of fire that shattered the land into pieces. Yep, I know. Hopefully that'll be enough to trigger what I wanted to trigger, because that's this week. I thought I had another week. Gwenelle's party is lovely. Not nearly as glamorous as your own upcoming birthday will be, of course, but it's still a major event on the noble social calendar. Everyone who is anyone is present. Uncle Laurent and Aunt Lucille are here, along with all three of their children. Charlotte rushes over eagerly to see you. Hi, Elodie. Guess what? Hi, Lottie. What is it? Mummy says after your coronation I can come and stay at the castle with you, and we can talk about, magic. That's great. However, it seems the assembled nobles are not eager to converse with Countess Nix and her family. The position of Lumen Minister may be damaging Aunt Lucille's social cachet. Arise, the Duchess of Lilla, is present, but she somehow always manages to avoid talking to you when you draw near. She's Kevin's mother. There are refreshments and dancers and musicians and polite conversations, and one or two not so polite. Leek, Countess of Dees, will not be shoved aside. Gwenelle, Duchess of Sudbury. Mother, it's my domain now. I need space for myself. You have your own lands to manage. Just because you're of age doesn't mean you know everything, young lady. You need my advice. This is my home. It has never been yours. Before you can back away, their gazes fall on you. They wait expectantly for you as near queen to settle the dispute. Side with Gwenelle. You heard her. She's an adult now, and she's in charge here. Thank you. Is this what your father will face upon your coronation? Cast aside without another word. He's not going to like hearing that, is he? A bit later, Bryony catches up with you. Bryony, Lady Mead. Hello, Elodie. It's so wonderful that you're going to be queen now. I mean, I am sorry about your mother. Thanks. But think of the opportunities you're going to have. You're so lucky. That's an odd way of putting it. Anyway, I was wondering, now you're almost queen and everything, have they told you all the secrets? What secrets? Like how to get into the old palace. I've heard it's packed full of treasure. Old palace? Oh no, I failed the law. Ah, annoying. The one at Catherine Lake, where the kings and queens of Nova used to live. I don't know anything about it. Oh. Damn it. She bites her lip and frowns at you. Well, never mind then. She walks away, so much for wanting to talk to you. At the end, you all share a pleasant meal and prepare to return to your various lands. Frustrating. Alright. So that was a waste of a couple of weeks. But let's get pole arms up and then we'll focus on swords. Week 29, morning. You learn the basic stances, grips and positions for staff fighting and how to block a blow without crushing your fingers. Afternoon. You practice slow swings to move your blade to precisely mark targets, building up your muscles and control. Oh, why are you so close to 25? So frustrating. Alright. The Duchess of Lilla has sent you a gift. What's this? It's a cushion, finely embroidered with the design of a running horse. It's well done and clearly required hours and hours of needlework, but it's also fairly useless. That's nice, I guess. I will keep it. Find a chair or sofa to set it on. Let's try and get down Willful a little bit. See if we can... Mood, angry. Please tell me that's a bonus to weapons! Yes! Right, so I need archery first, and then we'll do swords. You learn to cut, fletch and tie arrows. You drill with a partner, attacking and blocking in carefully timed patterns. You practice moving with the blade, sidestepping, lunging and charging and lunging. I can speak English, really. The Duchess of Mead is here to see you, my lady. Coronation, Duchess of Mead. Hello, Elodie. I'm sorry to trouble you, but have you seen Bryony? Not since the party last week. She shakes her head. She's gone missing. She's not at school where she should be. I know she was unhappy, but I never expected. She was asking the questions at the party about the old Novan Palace, but then she wandered off. I'm sorry, I really don't know. Oh no. Oh, Bryony, what have you done? She hurries out of the room without even bothering to say farewell. Alright, I want to stay angry, but I don't want to get too willful, but we'll see this, because we can't do sports yet. In fact, I don't think we can do, because we haven't got... Yes, we've got our tabard. But I actually don't want to boost her weapons, I want to keep her magical girl boosted. Here we go, we've got a good thing here, so we can do swords and swords. Week 31, morning. You practice using your blade to disarm opponents or shove them backwards. You spar with a partner, trading blows while looking out for opportunities to attack each other. Afternoon. You begin to work with a metal blade, getting the feel for its weight and edge, as well as learning how to care for it. You practice drawing your blade and striking at short notice from a variety of positions. As you're walking through the Great Hall, a freak gust of wind suddenly blows out all the candles in the room. How strange, there must be an open window somewhere. I'm going to -1 to angry now because we're nearly done with our weapons. Should, in theory, do it, and then was it resist magic? I needed to, yeah, resist. I haven't quite got to 100, so I'll just pop that up to 100, just so it's complete. Because if you have 100 but you have the outfit attached, it gives you a little boost. You can get over 100% on it, so it's actually worth it. You learn techniques for thrusting your blade through armour to disable or kill your opponent. You learn advanced techniques for holding off multiple opponents at once. Your increased skill and power gives you innate resistance to mind-affecting magic. Your understanding of the flow of power gives you increased resistance to damage caused by magic, even without a shield. You can still be hurt, but less than an ordinary human would be. Okay, so now we should be 100% on our lumens. Things have been so unsettled lately. Everyone's on edge. We need something cheerful. You could hold a tournament. It's a good idea. Knights, jousting, musicians, all sorts of competitions. Everyone loves a contest. What will you offer as prizes to the winners? Status and praise. Being declared to be the best in front of the entire domain should be prize enough for anyone. Very well, I will draft the announcements. You leave him to his work. Alright, my mood now is angry. I think we'll pop down angry and willful because I'm going to want to start working on her. There we go. So what's her current mood? She's still angry. No point bothering with mystical because what I wanted to do with that's gone. I'm going to go with reflexes. Let's get these up over 25 and then I'll just focus on reflexes. You practice curtsying, standing and walking across the floor in a graceful manner. You learn to relax and evaluate the tension in your body, then to practice the different types of motion available to each of your joints, twisting, shifting and rotating. This is the week of the general tournament. Nobles and commoners alike have turned out to compete against each other. The people will be pleased if you participate in their games, however it would expose you to danger. What event do you wish to take part in? I'm going to go with fencing because I'm fairly good with my sword. Here the devotees of the blade can challenge each other to duels fought only for points, not blood and honour. You win your first match to uproarious applause, but are soon overpowered by more experienced competitors. Still, you did very well for your first tournament. All the winners are announced and displayed to great cheers. As near queen, you place flower garlands around their necks. All of a sudden, a man approaches the winner's platform. It's Kevin, the Earl of Io. In one hand, he carries an armoured gauntlet, in the other, a sword. My family's blood is on your hands. What is he talking about? He casts the metal glove to the ground with a clatter and raises his sword, pointing it at you. I challenge you, Elodie. A life for a life. That's Crown Princess Elodie to you, I think. He's challenging you to a duel. Doesn't he know you could burn him to a crisp just by waving your hand? Kill him with magic. Without further word, you direct the full force of your magical wrath at the Earl of Io. There is a horrible scream and the smell of burning flesh. I decline. Kevin's sword falls to the ground beside his gauntlet. He won't be needing either anymore. Violent. She's my violent little pink magical girl. I love her. Alright, so we're really angry, but I don't want to be so angry, so let's... I'm not going to bother visiting Juliana this week. Because I want to get angry down a bit. So she's still angry, but it's not maxed out. Right, we'll continue with these classes. I have a horrible feeling it's not going to get over 25. Oh, bum fluffs. Week 34, morning. You practice walking on the arm of a partner and following their cues to pause and turn while keeping your eyes closed. Afternoon. You practice circling your arms and making kicking motions with your legs to stretch out your limbs. My lady, your father wishes to speak with you. He says it's urgent. Fine, I'm coming. You find your father standing over a map of the coastline, his face grave. Ships have been sighted on approach from Shangia. Not trade ships. This is a war fleet. What? Within a week they will be in Novan waters. Within 2, they could reach the capital. Then we will fight to defend ourselves. You can try to use treasury funds to hire additional soldiers, but it may be difficult on short notice. No, it's too late for that. What about Talassi? Can we call on any troops from Sedna? Send a message, but even if he agrees, it will take time for his soldiers to mobilise. You will need to draw up a naval strategy for our ships to carry out. You could choose to act as admiral and lead the fleet in person, but the danger to you would be very great. Unless you think your personal skills will make the difference, I would strongly advise against it. No, there's too much to do here. I can't go to sea. Alright, so I want to get angry down again. She's willful. Is that going to help? Not really. Poop. Oh, I really wish I hadn't spent all that time focused on mystical. I was obviously like a week too late. Alright, finally you're over 25. Not very helpful right now though. You practice different partner dance positions closely held at a distance and non-contact, and the appropriate hand placement for each. Afternoon. You practice bouncing motions with your arms and legs to increase the muscular effect. Danger on the high seas. Ships close in on each other, angling into range. The Shangians have half again as many troops as you do. It doesn't look promising. The eventual outcome is not in your favour. The Novan ships are sunk or scattered as the Shangian forces press towards landfall. Many good soldiers were lost today, and Nova's troubles have not ended. Since you have failed to repel the invasion, the Shangian fleet will soon land, and their troops will begin process towards your capital city. Your remaining soldiers will hold them off as long as possible, of course, but the main strength of your military has been exhausted. Nova's future looks bleak. Visit Tombs just popped up. Don't want it though. Morning. Your teacher walks around you, prodding a finger at you slowly in order to train you in blocking those touches without triggering fear or faster breathing. You practice with a jump rope to increase the speed of your footwork. You practice solo tennis, hitting a ball against the wall repeatedly in order to train your hand and your eye to react. You out there? Sports. The invasion of Nova is proceeding. Your coastline is under Shangian control. Soldiers have marched through villages, trampling fields and frightening citizens. A diplomatic delegation from Shangia has requested access to the castle to discuss terms, most likely for your surrender. You lack the strength to hold off their armies, and surrendering now will save many lives. It would seem you have no choice. Almost no choice. Your fiancé, Duke Talarist of Sedna, has sent you a message. He does not personally command enough soldiers to turn the tide against this invasion, but his king in Talassi is eager to discuss a formal alliance. If you flee the capital now, you should be able to evade the army and reach the Talassian border. I'm going to meet with the diplomats. You prepare yourself as best you can to meet with the representatives from Shangia. You expected diplomats and a military representative, a general or an admiral. You did not expect the handsome man decked in jewels who now stands before you, a man announced by your servants as Togami, king of Shangia. Is he really their king? Why would a king come all the way here? And he's a lumen too. Togami. My dear young lady, how difficult this must be for you. So much responsibility at such a tender age. Pretend to be my friend while you're killing my people. Temper, princess. After all, I'm here to save your people. War benefits no one, don't you think? Such a terrible waste. Better to settle things in a civilized manner. A contest, a game, so to speak, with Nova at the stakes. Should I win, then your domain will submit and accept me as overlord with no further resistance. Should I lose, then my army will leave your domain in peace and shed no more blood. What sort of game? It is well known that Nova is ruled by lumens. As it happens, I too possess the powers of a lumen. I propose a formal duel. My powers against yours. The winner takes control of Nova. The loser dies. Your game, by your rules, for my life? That doesn't sound fair to me. The rules of formal duelling have been passed down for centuries and must be upheld. It is important that we do this by the ancient codes. Why should I? If you refuse, then the war will continue. I'll sweeten the deal. If you meet me in a formal lumen challenge, I'll call off the invasion even if I win. Really? I swear it by the gods. Nova will be free and safe. Why take that risk? You're winning the war. It is not your land that I want. It's your crystal. It won't work for you. How little you know. Under the right circumstances, resonance can be changed. To gain your power, I am willing to wager my own. Shall we begin? I can sense his power. It's so strong. I've learned everything I possibly could, but he's at least as good as I am. I don't like this, but what choice do I have? Accept his terms. Then I must. Togami explains the rules of formal duelling to you, including a carefully inscribed circle of wards which will contain the effects of any powers you wield, protecting bystanders from danger. And then it is time to begin. You trade attacks, one spell sensed and countered by another, reserving your strength as much as possible. It might be exciting if your life wasn't on the line. You need to end this quickly before his experience allows him to come up with a trick you can't defeat. He's used to dealing with magical attacks, but he might not be expecting a physical one. Perhaps if you rushed him, you could take him off guard. Up close, he couldn't use his fancy spells, but what would you do then? You still have to use magic to win. You can't just grab him and bang his head against the floor. Perhaps you could focus your power into the shape of a sword and attack him with that. Or maybe you could distract him somehow. You could cast a spell that he couldn't block. We'll go magic sword. Motes of shimmering moonlight coalesce into a weapon in your hand. Your first lunge, he dodges, rolling to the ground, but you recover quickly and strike again. In the confined space of the warded circle, there is nowhere for him to run. The final strike of your moon blade parts his head from his shoulders. You have won. And currently willful. What's my new outfit? No, I've had that already. This one maybe? No, I've had that already too. Oh, tutu. There we go. I'll stick you in a tutu for now. Alright, so now we just need to survive 3 more weeks, and we've survived. So I failed in attempting to collect a death. I did want to go into the old forest, and I was obviously too late for that. So what I think we'll do... She knows all about poisons. Just trying to think what could get her in these last couple of weeks. We'll go with reflexes, I think. Week 37, morning. You practice running at high speed back and forth over a small area, making quick turns and changes in direction. Afternoon. You practice tennis against multiple opponents, learning to judge at a glance when a ball is too far away to reach in time. You practice chasing a small dog through the castle gardens, leaping over uneven stones and dodging through branches. Once you defeated the King of Shangia in a duel, the invasion was meant to be over. In practice, it's not quite so easy to expel a foreign army from your lands, particularly when their leadership is falling apart. The remaining Shangian generals seem surprisingly eager to go home and left without a fuss, but a large number of soldiers have broken ranks and run amok, looting and pillaging their way through Nova just for fun. A number of royal holdings have been damaged and valuables stolen. Not only do you lose them, but you'll have to pay for repairs. Luckily, the Duke of Sedna has finally sent some reinforcements to your aid. The patrols are small in number, but much fresher than your own troops, and the mere sight of them is enough to strike fear in the hearts of the renegades. When Togami died, he left behind a crystal, a mauve lumen crystal which glimmers of pink where it catches the light. Such a pretty bauble from such an ugly event. Since Nova won the duel, this crystal is now your rightful prize, but you have no idea of what to do with it. For now, you lock it away in the royal treasury. I'm just going to stick with what we've got. Psst, I need to talk to you. What is it? That priestess, Celine. She's a lumen. I can sense it. I know. What do you mean you know? If you knew that, why didn't you tell me? You didn't need to know. Your job is managing the domain. Some of us have other duties. Our missions have been passed down for centuries, little princess. We're here to train you. You don't need to know any more than that. Let it go. Right. Okay. Morning. You practice touch blocking skills at full speed, deflecting your hands before they can reach you. You practice running through a field, dodging balls that are thrown at you from all sides. Afternoon. You sit quietly in the centre of a room, watching out of the corners of your eyes to see people approaching you from a distance. You practice catching balls that are thrown at you from different directions while you're not looking, so you have to rely on hearing and instinct to sense the incoming missiles. Visitors have arrived to help prepare you for the upcoming festivities, your family. Good day to you, niece. I hope all is well. Hi, Elodie. Mummy said you have all the best tutors and I should take classes with you. Great. Time has slipped by you so quickly. Only 2 weeks remain before your birthday celebration and your official coronation of Queen. Have you done enough to build a stable Nova? Excuse me. It is traditional for the palace to provide entertainment and refreshment for the common people when a new monarch is crowned. It's a rare opportunity for the poor of the land to dine like nobles. The size and scope of any such feast depends on what expense the royal treasury is willing to bear. We'll go with... We have just spent quite a lot of money, but extravagant feast. Roasted meats, cakes, chocolates, wine, enough for everyone, and I can give out commemorative cups and coins. Okay. So we are still angry. Meditation and divination. 39. Morning. You close your eyes and relax every muscle of your body in turn, letting that feeling travel down through you from your head to your fingertips and your toes. Afternoon. Dropping your favourite plate is bad luck. A statue spontaneously shattering is a bad omen. Statue spontaneously shattering. There's some alliteration for you. The castle is buzzing with preparations for your upcoming coronation. Ministers press you with details for your favourite colours and flowers and so on. You really can't see the point in wasting some time worrying about decorations when there's so much else to worry about. Others are more interested in the subject of your marriage. It can't take place until you're of age, of course, and considering all the preparations and the need to recover from the coronation, for not much longer than that. Still, it doesn't stop people from buzzing around full of ideas and suggestions. Hi, Lottie. Hi. What's the matter? Now that she's a minister, Mummy's been telling me more about lumens. She wants me to learn more about magic so I can be one when I'm older. But she says I need a crystal, and the only way to get one is when she dies, or when you die. I don't want to be a lumen anymore. Don't worry, we're both going to live a very long time. Really? I promise. We'll change into our outfit before we end, so let's go into a priestess robe before we finish up, because we are at week 40 now. Week 40, morning. You take slow, deep breaths, letting that air move through your body, feeling it give you life and energy. You stare into a polished crystal ball and relax, letting your mind wander. Afternoon. You read about well-known signs of bad fortune, wells turning sour, dry lightning, strange fish caught in nets, malformed babies being born, and so on. You read about signs that have presaged famous disasters, such as the seas running red before the doom shadow fell upon Nova 200 years ago. At this time last year, you were celebrating your 14th birthday. You were in the school gardens surrounded by your friends. A teacher brought you tea and cakes while a wealthy merchant's son wove a crown of flowers for your head. It didn't matter so much that you were a princess then. The title was something for the future. Many of your peers would be duchesses or earls or the like someday, but not then. You were children. Your parents could not attend on the actual day, but they did send wonderful gifts, some for you and some for you to share. And a week later they came for a visit, and your mother took you with her through the countryside in a splendid carriage. It was the last time you would ever see her. You wonder if, wherever she is, she can see you now. You're 15 years old, a legal adult. You have worked and studied and suffered and prepared, and now the time has come. You kneel before the priestess, barely hearing her words as she recites the blessings. She calls upon the gods to deliver peace, wisdom and prosperity to you and through you to all of Nova, and then she calls upon you for your oath of rulership. Priestess of the First Circle, will you guide and govern and protect your people to the best of your ability according to law and custom? I will. Will you, to the best of your power, uphold the ideals of love, honour, justice and mercy? I will. Lords and ladies assembled, I present to you your undoubted queen who has sworn you her loyalty. You who have come to give homage, will you do the same? One at a time, the head of each duchy approaches your throne and kneels to swear his or her service to you and your heirs. People of Nova, I give you Elodie, Daughter of Fidelia, your true sovereign, what say you all? Long live the Queen! Long live the Queen! Long live the Queen! Thank you! I will. Elodie, Queen of Nova. The following year, Elodie and Talaris were married in a ceremony that threatened to rival her coronation for pomp and splendour. Talaris brought with him a gift of fine white horses and encouraged his young wife to amuse herself while he enjoyed his new place in Novan politics. He was clearly in no hurry to provide an heir to the throne. Once his daughter was secure on her throne, Jocelyn returned to his birthplace to focus on his duties as Duke of Calaris. He soon became engaged to the Countess Sirin. As Lumen Minister, Lucille requisitioned the mauve crystal that Elodie had taken from the Shangian king and offered it to her daughter. Somewhat to Elodie's surprise, Charlotte was able to activate the crystal's power and bond with it, becoming Nova's youngest lumen. The young queen wondered if something in the careful ritual of Togami's jewel had affected the crystal's resonance. Surely her favourite cousin could not have the same personality as that madman. Following Elodie's victory over the Shangian king, the public opinion of lumens rose to a height that hadn't been seen in 100 years. Young children would dress up and play at being magical kings and queens. Freed from the need for secrecy, the Duchess Juliana and the Priestess Celine were able to announce their shared magical powers and their love. At Elodie's prompting, the lovers pledged their devotion to each other in a private ceremony, after which Celine retired from the priesthood to accompany her wife to Ursel. After the failed invasion, relations with Shangia remained tense. First came the recriminations and demands from the Queen of Shangia, devastated by the death of her husband, which Elodie ignored. Next came the subtler approaches, the quiet gratitude and offers for alliances from ministers who were thrilled to see Togami gone. Elodie ignored those also, which was just as well, since the next thing to arrive was the preserved heads of one of those traitorous ministers, sent by the Queen of Shangia as a warning. There was no sign of war in the immediate future, but there was not likely to be alliance either. The invention of the printing press sparked the beginning of a new age of literacy and knowledge. No longer were books the sole preserve of the noble and wealthy. Now information and ideas could be easily passed from one place to another. As the birth of this invention, Nova was at the storm of a century. I can't speak today. I can't read today. Nearly done though. As the birthplace of this invention, Nova was at the centre of a storm of change. The new hospital, funded by Queen Elodie, offered medical services to the common people, but more importantly, it allowed doctors and herbalists to come together and share information. Trained in knowledge increased skill levels and made better care available to all. Even those specialists who catered directly to the elite were benefited by offering their services long enough to learn. That information could also be collected in books and sent around the world. Nova might not benefit directly, but thousands of lives would be saved. And thus Queen Elodie's legacy stretched into the future. Ta-da! Alright, so we are all done for this, and as we're at 3:30 here, and I usually try to stop at 4 because that's when my partner gets home, and as they work 6 days a week, I think it's only fair that I respect their home time. So what I will do is I will prepare this. I'm probably going to turn this into a highlight for Twitch, and I'm also going to pop it on my YouTube, which is also under the same username, so it's nice and easy for you to find. So I'm just going to share my socials here. Oh, helps if I spell it correctly. I don't have a deck yet, I have to do it by hand. Okay, so yeah, feel free if you wanted to go back and watch this, you can watch it either on Twitch as a highlight or on YouTube once I've prepared it and uploaded it. Probably take a couple of days. But that was really good fun, I really enjoyed that. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.